Welcome to the latest PHTM Expo update. This time, we're going to be focusing on the wide range of seminars taking place throughout the day on Wednesday, the 15th of May. I'm Phil Holloway, and we're going to kick off the day at 11 a.m. with a presentation by iCabby, followed by a talk by Connor Nolan, highlighting the need for strategic planning before selling or merging your taxi business. At noon, we'll welcome our guests from one of Sweden's oldest and largest firms, Taxi Stockholm, explaining how using a voice bot has automated over 70% of their bookings. David Goldring from Expo sponsors the Cap Fusion Network will then present on staying relevant and the advantages of the sharing economy at 12:30. And at 1 p.m, we're holding our keynote seminar addressing the recently launched VAT consultation on PHVs with experts Jonathan Main of MHA and Gary Jacobs of EasyTax. This is a not to be missed discussion for all of our trade. This is what they said when I spoke to them earlier. So Jonathan, you're going to be talking at the PHTM Expo, perhaps one of the hottest topics that there is in the taxi industry at the moment. Talk us a little bit about the VAT consultation seminar.
VAT consultation seminar deals with the government's publishing the consultation document in late April on future VAT treatment of taxi fares, with particular focus on cash fares, agency fares, rather than account business. The concern in the industry is that VAT could be imposed at 20% on all cash fares. The government consultation provides some opportunity to perhaps reach a place where VAT might only be due on a fraction of those fares. So it's in everybody's interests to understand what is in the consultation, engage fully in it, and hopefully steer government in the right direction for the future of VAT within the industry. Is that the consultation is open for 16 weeks until early August. If industry does not engage with the consultation, the government will assume that its working assumption on how to move things forward is correct. So this is the last time industry has the chance to influence government on this very important issue.
So that really sounds, Jonathan, like it is something that everybody within the taxi industry, from private hire all the way through, should come and listen to this seminar. So thanks so much for joining us today.
We're going to be talking about the subject of VAT on fares. Simple title, complicated subject, lot of controversy, but we now have an opportunity to have a government consultation. So we're going to be talking about what you can do to be heard and what's the best thing for the industry, the best way for the industry to deal with this.
It's probably the hottest topic in the industry, Gary.
Yeah, I think it is, and it's also because, you know, I'm as an accountant, I have a kind of best advice for you on it, but it's come about because there was a court case, a tribunal actually, that created it's known as the principal judgment, that created a simple judgment which people have interpreted, and some have interpreted that it's going to be a big VAT issue. It's been talked about a lot in the industry, it's been talked about outside the industry, and because of it, the government now wants to hear everybody's viewpoint. So we've seen an escalating situation that's genuinely worried people in the industry, because there's a massive financial burden, and some of us see a way out, some of us don't. But I think this is time as an industry, we should use this as an opportunity to pull everyone together, to have a single path, to have a voice heard, and to do something about it, and something can be done about it.
This will be followed by an update on the Uber versus Sefton case by Layla Bark-Jones, who is representing Delta Taxis and other operators appealing the outcome. At 2 p.m, our industry legislation and regulation Q&A begins, hosted by Dave Lorry and Stephen Toy from the NPHTA. The panel consists of Paul Elliott from DFT, Lee Beach from the Welsh Government, Mike Smith from the Institute of Licensing, James Button, a licensing solicitor, Lindsay Cracknell from DEFRA, and finally PC Quinton, Bristol Taxi Cop. Get ready with the questions you want answered by the people making decisions on the future of our trade. This is what Dave had to say.
Talk me through what's changed mostly in legislation and what's on the horizon.
So there's new tax conditionality check codes that came out in England last year, and they've now been introduced in Scotland. There's HMRC VAT launching a consultation coming up in May. There's the Department for Transport Best Practice Guidance that was released in November last year. Most councils are now looking at that and how to incorporate that into their conditions. So there's a lot on the horizon. There's a lot of change coming.
Yeah, a lot to get through there in those seminars. How do you feel the industry has it bounced back and recovered after the COVID pandemic?
I don't think it fully has yet. It is on the road to recovery, but with councils pushing for more and more expensive and newer vehicles and clean air zones and things like that, it's like you're pushing on a door and it keeps pushing back at you. We will get there. We have a strong industry, but it is going to take time.
This is followed by James Button sharing his opinion on establishing national standards for our industry. 3:15 sees an inspiring talk by Mary Story from Think Pink on enabling more women to train as licensed drivers. Dave Lorry is on the stage again at 3:30, joined by licensing officers from Guildford, South East Cambridge and York, discussing CCTV regulation, changing opinions and funding. Here's what Dave said.
Why is the topic of CCTV so current right now?
There's a lot more local authorities that are going down the route of mandatory CCTV. There's a lot more drivers that are wanting it for their protection and to prevent deactivations and suspensions. And even the DFT themselves suggested that local authorities should incorporate it as part of their best practice guidance. So it is very current. It is far more rapidly expanding now than it was this time last year or the year before. But there's a lot more councils looking at it, so the rules need to be clearer and we need to understand exactly what we're looking at.
The day concludes with Gary Jacobs from Easy Tax addressing the continued confusion over HMRC conditionality. As you can see, this is a day not to be missed. So join us today. Register at phtm.co.uk/register. See you there.